What's up?
Mm. Well, I'm in my survey uniform if you guys are up for some surveys.
What type of survey?
I'm just getting people's opinions on things.
All right.
There's a variety of questions.
Okay.
Sure, what's up?
Okay. Okay. Well, I got two books for answers. I guess I can try to do this at the same time. Okay, what is your guys' favorite wood type?
Spruce.
I
Your?
mean, spruce is probably the best for farming. It's
Oh,
just like the big trees are really good
mm-hmm.
for bulk amounts of wood.
Okay, okay,
Oak is a classic though. So.
okay. I'll put that as a second place for you.
Mm-hmm.
What is the ugliest block in your opinion?
What
I was
sponge?
thinking like the
What sponge?
old glowstone texture,
Oh
not
Old
god.
not the
glow
Or
current
the old
one.
netherrack.
Okay.
Like the old
Old.
netherrack.
Yeah, a lot of the old nether blocks were just really ugly.
Okay. Okay. I'll just put old nether textures for
As for the new ones
Gerhulk.
though, what sponge? I don't like it. I don't like the hue.
What is the scariest hostile mob?
Baby zombie.
I mean, I'd say just the destructive power of the wither is.
Wither. Okay.
I mean, honestly, yeah, but it depends on the context.
Yeah,
Baby
it
zombies are
depends on the
terrifying in
context.
any context, but with a wither, it's like if you get it underground, you can cheese it pretty easily.
Yeah,
Fair
but
enough.
like if I was fighting like just in the wild encountering a baby zombie versus in the wild encountering a wither,
Mm. That's true. Because what's the wither doing in the wild?
although I think like a bit if I'm going for something that's not play or created, I'd say like baby drowned with a trident.
Mm.
Oh man. Are they like faster than regular ones?
Yes.
They're gonna be harder to hit regardless of if they're faster,
Oh
and
yeah.
they've
They are
got a
faster
trident
though.
which hurts.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
What is your favorite variant of glazed terracotta?
I'm a fan of the I like the brown one. It has a
Okay.
really nice like subtle blue part to it.
Mm-hmm.
Orange is controversial and it's really hard to put with stuff, but it's also nice.
I think
Mm-hmm.
it's the light gray one that I like.
Light
That's also very
gray.
good.
And what is your favorite Minecraft food? Golden apples. Got it.
Well, I eat a lot of steak, so I guess like nutrition wise steak, but I like the taste of cookies.
And what is the cutest passive mob?
LA.
I was gonna say axolotl.
Okay.
Those are also
Okay.
pretty good, but like allies are just like little guys and their entire purpose is just to like help you around and they do a little dance when they're happy. I love them so much.
And what is your favorite Minecraft flower?
I do think the torch flower is a pretty interesting one.
Would it be weird to say like wither rose? Because they're hard to get in. Yeah, they hurt you, but I think they're also very beautiful if you know you're careful enough with them.
Least favorite realms, like overworld, nether, and which is your least favorite?
Man, I don't really have a least favorite. All of them have a purpose, I guess.
Uh, yeah, same, but Nether sucks the most to travel in.
Okay.
Yeah, like below the nether roof is probably the most annoying.
And then what is your favorite variant of the axolotl?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I've actually like seen too many in person. The pink is a classic, but the blue one is the rarest one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the blue one is the rare one. I think the blue one has. I do like the blue one the most. I think it's the most interesting.
Would you both be interested to know that we have obtained the blue one in the Evil Lair?
I've heard.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Pastel's been breeding them like crazy. Finally got it.
Huh.
Did you say blue as well? Or you said pink was classic and blue was rare, but are those the ones you pick?
Uh, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't actually like seen enough. axolotls to like really answer that question, but so I'm just gonna go with pink.
All right. We're going to be getting to different types of questions now. What's the most difficult redstone you've ever built? I think.
The orbital strike cannon was pretty
Okay.
complex.
I'm just going to put orbital strike OSC. Yes.
All of them are equally difficult for me because I don't know what's going on.
I'll just put all.
Yeah.
What is your favorite type of puzzle?
I like those little 3D like wooden puzzles. You can take them apart and put them back together. They're really good to just fidget with.
Yeah, I'd say like ARG style puzzles.
What is your best skill in Minecraft?
I mean, redstone's probably number 1, and then PvP probably number 2.
Any skill. Any skill. Are you suggesting building by looking around?
I mean, I was really just trying to figure out what.
Okay, I didn't know if this
Maybe?
was supposed to be code for anything,
I guess
to
like
looking around.
infrastructure counts as building.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
building.
Okay. I think you can go to your stats for this one. It's how many players have you killed?
Oh, let's see.
The next few are all stats related if you want to stay in that screen.
Cool. Layer.
Mm-hmm.
42.
I imagine they
Hold
added
on.
it last.
How many did you say you?
42.
Uh-oh. Is Key's a murderer over here?
That can't be right. It says I have 50.
Okay.
Huh.
I mean, I think you killed Felony a lot of times that one time, right? Or
Oh,
something?
yeah. That would probably do it.
And what block have you placed the most? I think that's
to
gonna be
reopen it.
Time. Let's see. Would that be times used? Yeah, that would be times used, I think. Stone.
Okay.
Dark oak button. I was spawn proofing.
Right?
Yep. Yeah. 21,385 of them.
What mob have you killed the most?
33,673 Endermen.
148,000 zombified piglins. I think the answer is going to be not applicable unless you're counting players.
5 zombie kills. Yeah, 14 player kills. So creepers if players don't count.
What does the server need most?
Oh, do you mean like mods-wise or like on the actual server itself?
Anything.
Okay. I think personally, like some sort of universal infrastructure. Like a rail system and like a proper nether hub, because the one we have right now like serves its function, but it's not 100%.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know the nether hub is a work in progress, and I think that's probably one of the biggest things we need right now is just getting started on that and getting it done.
Okay. What do you hope gets updated next?
I would love more for the end.
I know a lot of people have been saying, end update, which I do think that is an area that could be definitely touched up on, because 1.16 was the nether update, 1.17 was the cave update. And so I feel like the next logical step after that. I also feel like with the end flashes Mojang has been adding in snapshots and stuff like that. I feel like that is the direction we're kind of headed in anyways. That as well as the colors and sky change for biomes.
This one, I know you're gonna have strong opinions probably, but I'm just getting everyone's opinion. Thoughts on Galade's crimes?
What?
He's being accused of crimes. I just want your situation.
I don't have enough knowledge to comment properly.
Okay.
On one hand, if he did them, then yeah, that's probably not great. But on the other hand, he seems just about as confused as the entire thing than I am,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't really know anything about what's going on.
Okay.
Also, like most of them seem pretty harmless, if I may say so myself. Like
Okay.
vandalism, a lot of people have done vandalism.
Mm-hmm. All right.
As for the drugs, it's I think it's just sugar that somebody put food coloring in.
I mean, I think that's what the drugs have always been on the server personally, except for the pufferfish, I guess.
I think as for like actual server drugs, like we have like ones that you can like actually physically take, we have the various potions and then we have the
Mm-hmm.
pufferfish. You can't even eat sugar just you can't even eat sugar straight.
You guys were talking about this earlier, but do you have any ideas for Nether Hub improvement?
So a couple of the so most of the players on the server use Elytra, you know, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a couple people who still don't, for whether
Okay.
personal preference or they just don't have one yet in general. So I
Mm-hmm.
feel like making a like the universally accessible path that doesn't rely on Elytraflight as the
Okay.
sole method of transport. Like I feel like it would be good if we had like I think minecart rails are the way to go here.
Makes sense to me.
I
Yeah,
also think that we
I would
should
just
keep the like the color coded paths to various bases and stuff because that's how
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people associate, you know, white is spawn, green is farmhouse, magenta is monarchy. So I feel like if we keep that it'll like have what we had in the past but
Mm-hmm.
also like bring it forward into the future, if you get what I mean.
I just
And
think
you?
like a nice kind of like central hub build would be nice to have.
Hmm, hmm.
Okay. Anything else?
I mean, the rail network also sounds
Okay.
amazing to have.
Thoughts on more government and on the server?
Eh,
Okay.
I
Okay.
mean, okay.
Doesn't
It really depends on like how hard they're trying to control stuff. Like if they're here to just provide like more structure and make it easier to do like certain things. Like for example, the MSHA. I know some people have their
Mm-hmm.
problems with it because like we have in the past like given people notices that their place is unsafe. But I feel like it is an
Mm-hmm.
example of like a good like unified group of people with this with a common goal. So if the government is sort of more like that, people having a specific job that makes it quicker and easier to get the job done, then I'm for it. But if they're trying to, you know, project what their ideas of right and wrong onto others on a large scale, I'm kind of hesitant and not really on board with that.
Okay. So like no law enforcement. I'll just put that.
Yeah, I think diverse groups that are working to complete projects and that's really their goal is much better than some sort of centralized system.
Thoughts on deforestation in Minecraft?
Functionally a non-issue, you can just plant the trees back. The issue
Okay.
comes when people don't do that.
I mean, I recognize it as being necessary for building sometimes, and there isn't really a specific downside to it.
Mm-hmm.
Although they having a forest is nice for aesthetics sometimes. So I think just, if it's your area, do what you want. Be careful how you're affecting others, though.
Yeah.
And
I also think like it's
manage
easier if you're
others.
wanting to collect wood if you're away from home and in a pinch. Yeah, sure. You can
Mm-hmm.
chop down a few trees, but if you need to collect a lot of wood, it's just easier to just grow one and then chop it down and then grow another one in the same spot.
Thoughts on Hivetown?
Pretty cool place. Actually built a weather tower there because that was something that Urban wanted at some point, so I had to put that there. Haven't had a lot of time to like look around it properly. It's pretty cool. It's also a very gorgeous place. They've done a very good job building it.
Yeah, seems like a nice place. I don't really know too much about it or anything.
Yeah, because you don't leave the fucking perimeter. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
starting to
here
see
right
Girl
now,
does not know
aren't
much
I?
about the server. Thoughts on the ethics of villagers and redstone farms?
Never really. I don't know enough about the subject to comment.
I've
Okay.
never really considered it.
By redstone, do you mean
Mm.
like the iron farms?
Yeah, villager breeders,
Mm.
the farms where they do crops for you. Zombie farms, I guess, or I guess iron farms too. That's what that is. Those things. I guess villager trading halls would count too, in a way.
Mm.
Really, they're the same as any other mob, just have a different way of interacting with them.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay to not have an opinion. That's what the survey's for.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like this question does tend to get bring up a lot because they're humanoid, but
Mm-hmm.
they don't seem to be sentient per se.
I, I mean, I think there's some sentience, just not on the same level as a player. They're capable
Yeah.
of trading, so there's some level of
Yeah, I think they're
thinking
in
in
a
their heads.
different category than
Yeah.
we are. I
Okay.
That's, I guess, about it.
Thoughts on Zakori? And I'm just asking about random players at this
Oh.
point. Zakori is just who I wrote this time.
It's chill. I really do wish I could help it out with the whole void thing a bit more. Like I think everything I've tried so far has just not really worked the best.
I don't know too much about it, to be honest.
Should we be concerned about the effects of void exposure?
I mean, if you're actively hanging out, like, below the bedrock, that is, like, I think that's more going to be, like, affected by temperature rather than the void itself. Like, the void isn't as much of a problem as just cold down there.
I think the void does seem to have at least some level of sentience, and from what I've picked up about it from others, it does tend to be an at least somewhat manipulative entity, as in it tends to use people for its own gain. But it's complicated because I feel like everybody who's had like different experiences, everybody who's
Mhm.
had some major experience with it has had a different one. I think it varies greatly about like who it who it is, but its effects do seem to tend towards negative, even if there are some negative in the long run. I mean, of course, there are some exceptions.
Should we be concerned about the high number of semi-permanent deaths on this server?
I mean, I don't think any of them have been fully permanent.
Well, yeah, but should we be concerned about the semi-permanent ones?
They do seem to affect people, but I personally do not think there's anything we can do about it without causing a whole lot more harm. So,
Yeah, the deaths themselves aren't as much of a concern as the return, it seems like.
yeah.
I mean, but they don't have to return if they didn't die.
That is true, but
I mean,
some things are unavoidable.
Thoughts on the prison?
bad.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Okay. Anything else to say about it?
Why do you need to... Prison is like one of the least like efficient ways to actually stop crime. Like if you're considering punishing someone, for what they're doing. Punishment is like a very like stopping somebody from doing something out of fear only really introduces more problems, because if they're more scared, then they're more likely to do worse things. But if you have like positive reinforcement, like I don't feel like prisons like address like the root of the problem behind where about why people cause crimes in the first place. And even if somebody does need to be temporarily like distanced from others for their own or for others' safety, I feel like there's a way better way to do that is to like give them like a safe space to do it so that they can work through that in like a timely and healthy manner.
Opinion on the Olive Garden. Why are you aiming a gun at me?
That was from the prison bit. That's my opinion on the prison.
The Olive Garden is a building. It is an establishment, that's for sure.
I had to put down that Gur pointed a gun at me.
Yeah, maybe
It is a building. That's for sure.
and there is people eat there. There's food served. It's definitely a place that exists.
It does exist. All right, Gur, do you know about the Olive Garden? Have you ever even been?
I have been, and my opinion is pretty much the same. There's a place that exists that people go to, and it serves food.
A lot of things happen there. I'm a little bit hesitant to give more information because my wife is the founder.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I'm a little bit hesitant to say more than that because my wife is the founder of the establishment.
Congrats on your ceremony.
Oh,
I wasn't
no,
invited, but
married.
I won't take that personally.
We never got married. It's just funnier to say.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Would you like me to make a fake marriage certificate for you?
No.
Final question. Thoughts on pastel?
It tried to kill me once a long while ago, and then I didn't really like see it around. I know it's a troublemaker, not even in a bad way, it just does stuff. Not entirely sure what its problem is. Seems to be with Glade, but
no.
he's a grown man. It's not really any of my business anymore.
Okay. I'm sure you've interacted with pastel a bunch of times, right, Gur? You know all about pastel.
I think I've interacted with it a couple of times, but I do
it?
not have the best memory, to be honest.
Does not remember. Okay. Well, that was the final question.
I didn't
If anyone has
know-
anything else they want to say.
I didn't know robots could have bad memory.
You know, the RAM, the DRAM probably needs to be updated.
That's the random access. Like, that would be like a hard drive problem. Oh. Yeah. Thanks for the survey.
Yeah. Any final thoughts that you want to add?
Nope.
No?
Not really, no.
How's the creeper situation? I heard there's a creeper here.
There used to be one in the front yard. There's one in Galade's room. It's been here for like 3 months. I wasn't able to sleep in my own bedroom for months. Because there was a creeper here. And then that magically fixed itself last night, so.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yep.
I'm happy to know I can finally sleep in my bed when there's zombies hiding in the walls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice little favor from Etern1ty. She said she could pull it by for me.
She can do that? It's a she? Okay, I gotta go before I get existential.
Okay, wait. Actually, it's very simple. You know how, like, boats are an it, but, like, sometimes they're a she when a sailor's talking about them?
Or in another language, yes.
Yeah, it's like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
right.
Fair enough.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Does it... Okay. I mean, Is there any sentience to it?
That's a very good question, and very good and very complicated question.
Okay, well, it's not on my survey, so I just won't get an answer for it. Bye.
Yeah. Okay, bye. Yeah, I didn't know that robots could have, like, memory problems. I thought that was just a human thing.
Some things aren't necessarily important to keep around in the memory, so
Ah, yeah, non-pertinent information.
yeah.
I wish I can pick and choose what I keep up here. My brain just seems to be most of it just seems to be filled with fucking like weather facts. And then everything else is just shoved out because it's not deemed important. Anyways, yeah, didn't know that you were like that against prisons. Like I kind of assumed that you would be against the concept of them in general, but I guess I just didn't expect your reaction to that to them to be that like strong.
Yeah, no, there's no point in them existing.
Yeah, definitely. I've never been myself, but I don't have to have stepped foot in a place to know if it's good or not.